Hello everyone, welcome to V8's Online's live coverage of the V8's Online Nascar Truck Series for Club Oz NZ. I'm Jay Kennedy, joined by Luke Emmeter tonight for round 2 of the series from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, USA. Luke, welcome along to V8's Online Combox, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jay. It's good to be back in the combox and watch some truck racing that we've been missing for a while.
Yeah, it's really good to have the truck racing back. Last week, unfortunately, didn't quite go to plan, but the guys have been read the riot act this week, and I think we'll see a lot better action from the guys. We were no shortage of action last week with all the cautions we had, but this week we'll see a bit more green flag running, I believe. Fairly decent length race, 60 laps. And guys have put in a fair bit of practice this week to get a grip on the car, because last week it was rather tough, but this week car feels really good.
Yeah, it does, and took it for a few laps just before while we were waiting to go to air, and yeah, the setup feels nice, and yeah, the boys will find some speed later on, especially when the track starts to rubber in, and might see a second line up a bit higher and provide some good side-by-side racing.
Yeah, fingers crossed we'll see the second line start to form. If you are watching and you want to check out the live timing, it is available on v8online.com/live-timing. And we'll have that up for the whole race, so if you want to keep a track on your favourite driver. But at the moment, quali's been not quite as close. Practice was separated by 2/10 of a second separating the top three guys, but qualifying not quite as close. Jason Martin at the moment on top of the times, with Hayden Dodman in second, Scott Butler third, and Ash Lear in fourth place. Rob Lee, a driver who I'm a little bit surprised about, a little bit back further in sixth position, but very, very strong field. We've got 35 trucks in the race tonight.
Yeah, I just noticed fifth and sixth are actually got identical times down to the thousandths of a second. So definitely, as you said before, the practice was very, very close. But again, these two-lap qualifying sessions are very, very difficult to get correct, and yeah, always puts pressure on the drivers.
Yeah, 10-minute qualifying session. Some guys are actually using this as a bit of a race testing run, because it is a fixed setup, so all the cars have identical setups for practice, qualifying and the race, so chance to get out there and actually see what happens when the fuel starts to drop, understand different lines on the track, and also can start to help rubber in a groove a little bit as well. Won't take too much of an effect yet, but give it half an hour or so and we'll start to see a solid line develop. We can actually start to see it already starting to happen through turn 1 and 2. The lines start to grow, and we will see some pretty good side-by-side action throughout this race, I believe.
Yeah, and as you said, also just be interesting to see the different lines that people start to take eventually. When who's going to be brave enough to start that groove to go a bit higher, or even to run the high line completely around here. But it seems to be at the moment the quickest way around here is your pretty much standard line coming in, and not much needed around here either. The boys just having to roll off the throttle, and car actually feels quite good mid corner. You can get on 80-90% on the throttle through 1 and 2 and push it out towards the wall and get some quick times.
We have the potential where we will see the caution clock enacted. We'll see a caution at about half race distance, or at half race distance, if we haven't had one any earlier. If we have had one earlier, we will wait for 20 minutes of green flag running and throw the competition caution out. Don't know if we'll need it, but fingers crossed we do. It'd be a really good problem to have if we have to throw a competition caution. Sort of trial it out and see how it goes. If we need it throughout the season, we'll keep it. If it doesn't work, we'll get rid of it. But it adds an extra element in regards to strategy as well. Guys might have a clock with them, maybe not. So if they haven't got a clock near them, seeing how long that 20 minutes is going to be, then who knows what will happen in regards to strategy, because the guys will have to pit at some point throughout this race.
Yeah, you're right, Jay, and we've even seen during the inauguration of that system brought into real life NASCAR at the moment, creating some really interesting strategies with teams not too sure whether to keep the cars out or just hang on for that extra 5 minutes or so till that caution comes, and it will definitely provide some interesting feedback from the drivers as well later on to see how they went with strategy and everything else, providing that they knew that competition caution was coming. But we'll all have to wait and see, and as you say, if there's as much action as what we had last week, that might not be required.
Yeah, fingers crossed we will need the comp caution, because I think that'll be a good problem to have with lots of green flag running. But we've got the grid up on the screen. Jason Martin will start from the inside of row 1 with Hayden Dodman beside him. Scott Butler in second with Ashley Scott Butler in third with Ashley in fourth. Mitchell McLeod, Rob Lee share row 3 with identical lap times, which is very, very impressive. We've got Matthew Collette, Liam Burns in row 4. Row 5 is Sean Thompson, Stephen Williams. Row 6, Brett Hender, Blake Coppo. Good to see Blake back out on track in the truck. Always good when we had the truck series previous. Matt Stratford in 13th position. Simon Smith in 14th. Cody Bird, Robert Mason, Nick Crawford, Edward Foster, Chris Purnell, Brock Cadee, Craig Jones, Braden Bateman, Sam McLeod, David Webb, Mark Eastham, Michael Hammond, Nathan Clark, Darren McKenzie, Wayne Taylor, Brad Matheson, Simon Black, Scott Griffiths, River Whisper, and Andrew Johnston round out the 17 rows. Rodney Morris did not put in a lap in qualifying. Not sure if he's going to be running or not, but pretty big field. I'm very, very impressed with how many drivers we've got.
Yeah, definitely a popular series, Jay, as we've seen in previous years when you guys have been running it. And yeah, always good fun with the truck, especially fixed setup. You can kind of come in and about an hour or so practice is good enough if you just want to have a bit of fun. And always better the bigger the field, the better the racing. We seem to find you get little battle packs happening, and so yeah, there's always a lot of action to be had on the track. Really, anywhere you're running, whether it be at the front, the back, the middle.
Yeah, truck's a really, really good series that you can pick up and drive off not a huge amount of practice, but to master the truck, you do need to put in a fair bit of practice. It's not an easy vehicle to get the hang of.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well. But I guess that applies to a lot of, or most cars on the server as well that we've found. But yeah, definitely with the trucks, it is especially with not as much weight and downforce as some of the other cars, but also as the fact the power levels are a little bit further down as well than your normal Nascar. So yeah, as you say, they are pretty easy to pick up initially. But if you want to go fast, as anything, practice makes perfect.
So 60 laps in this race, so it's a decent length of time, which I think will be really, really good to see how guys will actually behave in this race. I think we'll see fairly close racing for about the first 6, 8, 10 laps, and then after that, when the tyres start to wear off, it will be really, really interesting to see how some of these guys that maybe don't race this vehicle as much, I keep wanting to say car, but it's not a car. I get in trouble when I say car when it's a truck race. How people go with this, with the tyre degradation as it is, the way that the track behaves and changes throughout. Be really interesting to see about lap 10, especially if we can stay green.
Yeah, that's right. And for a few of these guys in the field, they might have not run an oval series for a while since they've brought in that new track conditions and everything like that with the rubbering in and the line changing. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, as you say, who can adapt the best. And as we see them now, just exiting pit lane there around the back of turn 2. So yeah, a couple of warm-up laps for those who don't watch ovals very much. And then we'll be under green. So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see who can adapt, where the stages come in, who's going to take tyres, who not. And yeah, splash of fuel, as you said, they're going to need.
Jason Martin took every single possible point out there last week, led every single lap. Made the fastest lap of the race as well when we actually went green by over half a second. I don't think he'll have it quite as easy this week with a few guys who are right up there in regards to time. Blake Coppo in 14th, I think will be one, 12th, he'll be one that'll move through the field. Keep an eye on him. As the lights are out on the pace car and the field is under the control of Jason Martin in the number 21 Chevy Silverado. Dodman closing up right beside, trying to get, or make sure that Martin doesn't get a run and no one can come up through that middle groove. As we go green. Good work from Dodman to slot in behind. And we are 3 wide. We've got one car a little bit loose at 64 of Mark Easton, but he's managed to get it under control. No. Has looped it and the caution has come out. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate, especially when it's a real slow lose like that, and you're hoping for them to recover. But with iRacing, with their automation system, pretty much only takes a single car to have a bit of a lose, and they jump to throw that yellow out. So yeah, bit of a false start as such.
It's actually a blessing in disguise for Wayne Taylor, who actually started in the pits. He'll actually come back and close up on the back of the field.
And without getting lapped also.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised because you actually, on some tracks, will get lapped starting in the pit lane, but I think the caution come out early enough that it wasn't going to get lapped. But no real change up the front in regards to the positions. It's still Martin from Dodman, Butler, Lear, McLeod, Lee, Burns, Collette, Thompson and Williams, the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, so I dare say we're not going to see anyone pitting this early in the race, being only lap 2, but you never know. Sometimes people can surprise us with strategy, but even after one out lap and one or half a hot lap, really, I don't think you're going to need tyres or anything else.
You never know though, these guys are always playing a little bit of a funny game.
As we just see.
A lot of balking and faking the pit lane entry throughout the field. So we now have completed 2 laps. We'll probably see another 3 laps under the pace car, or under the safety car. And hopefully we'll go back green flag and see a few laps of actual green flag running before we have any real incident. But that one there is probably an incident or a caution that we see on most tracks most of the time. It's a very easy one to happen. Just in a bit of a battle pack, get a bit of a side draft that you're not expecting, and it's sort of something you can't really practice either. It's sort of something that comes with a bit of race experience, that side draft effect that you get being on the low line through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It just takes that little bit of air off the spoilers and that, and especially in these trucks with limited area that they have, even with that big kind of splitter at the rear. Very, very easy to get unsettled in the rear end, and they're actually quite difficult to catch once you get to that bit of a slide and you got a bit of speed up. There's not a lot of hope for you to get it back.
So this season we're running the full 12-week NASCAR truck season. We've extended the race lengths from the official race length. We're testing a few different lengths out throughout the season, which hopefully will sort of gather what people enjoy in regards to race distances, and next season we'll go at it once again and we'll have a real good gauge on what people are wanting in regards to this series. So this series is going to stick around, which is always good to see, and hopefully we'll see some newer names come in, and hopefully we might get some people to actually love oval racing, because it is a real different beast.
Yeah, you're right, Jay, and as I was saying pre-broadcast myself, I haven't run ovals in over 12 months now, and this series actually did make me want to get back in the truck and have a bit of a go, especially, as I said, fixed setup. You don't have to worry too much about trying to work on a setup all week for it or anything like that. You can kind of jump in even to the official practice sessions and just have a bit of practice, even though the setup's obviously maybe slightly different, but then you can come in here and have a good night and not have to worry about I-rating or anything, and actually race nice and hard and clean and have some good fun.
A good thing too with racing a race like this, you know the people that you're going to race because you've raced them the previous week. You know every time that you go into a race who you're going to be up against. So that's a big positive about these style of racing, where you're racing the same people all the time. But for me, when I first joined iRacing, like oval racing, that's boring. All I do is turn left. Well, wow, what an appreciation I have for this stuff now. It's so much more enjoyable for me from a racing standpoint than road racing. I love it.
Yeah, I tell you what, it wasn't until I built the license class up to the B class NASCAR, and even to be able to run the main NASCAR series, and running side by side around places like Talladega and Daytona, and just the sense of speed and skill that you need to be able to race in, and so close in a battle pack. And I never used to watch much of NASCAR in real life either until I started racing on the service. And as you say, a new appreciation and actually got me quite interested in. I can sit there and actually watch most of a NASCAR race in real life as well now.
Mark Eastham in the pits, who had the unfortunate spin. I'm not sure what's happening. He's sitting in the pit lane, so not sure if he's had some sort of malfunction or something which has caused the spin, which is always possible. Unfortunate that he's sitting out, but we actually did see a couple of guys come in the pit lane. Scott Griffiths, Brad Matheson and Matt Stratford all pitted to play a little bit of a strategy game, which is always interesting to see this early in the race.
Yeah, you can't really take much fuel, but I mean every little bit counts, I guess, especially on a longer speedway like this one with the restrictor plate. And you can get a fair few more laps out of your tank, so you know you never know. You might be able to gain a few positions later on when you're not having to take as much fuel or tyres.
Also, sometimes going back in the field, getting out of the mid-pack mess can sometimes be a positive as well. The lights are out on the safety car, so we will go green this time by.
And nice to see the Mustang back out in front of a field instead of the Porsche for the ovals. Good to see as well, and looking quite nice in a standard white livery compared to that really ugly gold colour they had before.
Yeah. Was for a good cause, but it wasn't the most attractive thing they had. That it was horrible gold. But field under control of Jason Martin.
Well, they're bunching up a lot at the front here. They're all keen to go.
Green flag. Dodman able to clear from Butler again, and it looks like Ash Lear as well might also clear. We're 3 wide back in the pack again.
Oh, one really high up at the fence there. I didn't see who exactly that was.
17.
Someone went real high.
Yeah, the 17 got right up against the wall, but we're still 3 wide down the back straight, but looks like it's all settling into a nice little groove. No, we're going to go 3 wide again through 3 and 4. We've got a car in the fence at the exit of turn 4, which is very, very easy to do. I'm not quite sure who that is. It's a 23. Brett Hender. And something's happened to Scott Butler. He's dropping through the field really, really quickly. He was up, restarted in P3.
Yeah, it looks like
actually 4 wide.
Ashley Lear as well, from position 6 all the way down to the back of the field now. He ran high and into the fence coming out of 4, and he's dropped right to the back of the field now.
He's actually dropped off the field completely. Up the front, it's Martin from Dodman, from McLeod, from Rob Lee. We'll keep our eye on Brett Hender coming back through the field, as well as Scott Butler, who's dropping right to the back, and Ashley as well. See where he can go, but he has got a bit of damage to the right-hand front of that Toyota Tundra. Keep an eye on his pace. Sean Thompson in 6th position, battling to keep Blake Coppo and Liam Burns at bay.
And single file now down to about position 10 before they start to spread out again 2 wide.
Yeah, we got
Stephen Williams in the 10 car.
Michael Hammond, Chris Purnell, Stephen Williams. Robert Mason and Nick Crawford. We had 3 wide actions. Mason right up against the wall in turn 1.
There's a highline J, then there's completely right in the wall, and I would say that is the ladder on that one.
Yep. That's way too high. Don't want to be up there. Mason has managed to regather it and hasn't put a scratch on it, which is always good. Thompson, who we were just saying before, is going to struggle to keep Burns and Coppo at bay, and they've both managed to get past, but Thompson thinks about sticking it through the middle of turn 1 and 2. Was thinking about making a move back on Burns. Thankfully, he thought twice about it.
Yeah, Burns now running that middle line there, but he's left the inside open, but he'll have a bit of a slower run out of this fourth corner. As you can see, the freaky fast car there of Sean coming out the inside.
My apologies, I'm not sure what's happening with the tickers on screen. It's they're not working as they should, so do my best to keep you updated on the standings throughout the field. It's a little bit old school without knowing who's where.
And Cody Bird now looking to cash in on that battle. He's right up the back of Liam now. And it looks like he's going to try and maybe follow his draft through, or he's going to make it 3-1 and try and split the pair here coming out of 4.
He wants to try and stay on that inside line. He almost thought about sticking it below the white line and making it 3 wide across the start finish line. Backed out of it, but he might make it 3 wide again.
Liam's just had his nose cut off there as the 85 comes straight up in front of him.
This is great racing though. This is what we love about oval racing. It's so tight, it's so close. You have absolutely nothing separating two cars, two trucks, while you're going 320 k's per hour, 200 miles an hour, and there's absolutely nothing separating you. It's always good to see.
That battle now has just settled down a bit, but still got Liam under a bit of pressure now from the Monster Energy car of Cody Bird, the number 18, as he's running the low line. And it looks like he's up the inside now, the 14. He's trying to get a good run out of here, but...
Oh, we've got a caution.
And the caution is out.
Craig Jones. Oh, it's just ended up having massive contact with someone. We'll get a replay of what actually has happened.
Yeah, the number 4 is on its roof.
Yeah, it's Scott Butler's night done.
Oh yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah, we've got Jones on screen now. Just seemed to be a little bit of netcode contact, and as he's pulled it up, he stopped on the track, as is the right thing to do. Stop on the track, don't roll down, and Butler, unfortunately,
wow,
has gone straight into him.
That's got to be the biggest backflip so far I've seen in an iRacing server, I would have to say.
On board now with Butler, and he did not even see that coming.
No joke, he's done about a quadruple backflip with a half twist and a pike, and then landed it on its roof in the middle of turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, he had a car. Sorry, I was just going to say, he had a car beside him and he couldn't go high, and he was going too quick to drop it down below the line, so he's had no real choice but to make the contact. Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing with oval. They try and tell you most of the time if you can go low when there's an accident in front. As we see now, all the leaders are into pit lane. Mitchell McLeod, Hayden Dobman leads them in. This will be interesting.
Interesting thing here will be who will take 2 tyres, who will take 4. Be a real strategy game start to play out very, very early in this race. I know if it was me, I'd be taking all 4 tyres. No point risking it at this early stage with bizarre different strategies.
Yeah, right, Jay, and seasoned oval drivers will know just how much difference those 4 tyres make compared to the 2 with the handling physics. Not so much straight away, but you only get about 5 laps or so, and then yeah.
Oh, change for the lead. Dodman has jumped Martin in the pit stop. Pit stop time for Dodman 13.8, Martin a 14.9, so a full 1.1 second quicker, and that's enough to jump him coming out of the pits.
Yeah, good stop by his crew there. That was nice and quick. And the race off pit road is definitely a close one at the moment. He's actually had to drive through him. Being in iRacing, there is no contact in pit lane as such when you're in your box, so he was lucky there. Was able to drive straight through him and get the lead.
One driver has taken 2 tyres. Braden Bateman, sorry, I can't even speak tonight. Braden Bateman has taken 2 with a 9-second pit stop. Also, Simon Smith has taken 2 tyres as well. Scott Griffith with the longest pit stop, 20-second stop, so just taking his time.
Yeah, possibly a little bit of damage or something. Maybe the crew just need to patch a bit of corner up.
Yep. Might as well get it done now. Now the drivers do also have a quick repair, so they are able to get back out there if there is some unfortunate damage.
Yeah, not so helpful if you end up on the roof like the number 4 did before.
No.
As you see now, the field just starting to bunch up again once behind the safety car with one extra car that did not pit the lap before, which was Mark Eason.
Yeah. So he had the incident on lap 1, and he's back out there, and he'll get a lap back, so it'll put him back to 3 laps down. 3 laps down in a 60-lap race, you're not actually ever out of it. As long as no one else goes laps down, still in the race.
Yeah, the good old way around in Nascar is always a good thing. If you can be the first car a lap down, you get the way around on the cautions, so that's always very helpful. As you say, 3 laps down is nothing. We've seen people come back from 3 laps down to win a race, so always creates an exciting race.
So if you are tuning in for the first time tonight, this is the V8 Online NASCAR Oz NZ Truck Series from Fontana, California. We've got a 60-lap truck race, which we are a quarter of the way through, and the action has actually been quite entertaining so far. Haven't seen too much silly stuff like we saw last week, which is really good to see. Jay Kennedy, Luke Emmerton with you. I think, as we've seen so far, I think this race is going to absolutely take off with about 15 to go, 10 to go.
Yeah, well, we saw some exciting racing there, Jay, and it was, as you say, we're only a quarter of the way through, and it was starting to get really, really racy there just before that caution, so definitely if that's some good signs for later on.
So we are under... Sorry, you go. Go, mate.
You're right, mate. Just letting them know. Just got the wave around now, so he's going to speed up and get round to the back of the field as quick as possible as the safety car lights are out.
We are under our second caution of the race. Already going much better than last week. I think we had 9 laps green flag running then, which is really, really good to see. It was actually a bizarre non-incident then that actually brought out the caution.
Yeah, you're right. That was a very, very big net code looking at the replay. That was almost a full car width between him and whoever he was supposed to make contact with.
Field under the control of Hayden Dodman. One thing to watch is he's got his teammate right behind, so Jason Martin and Rob Lee on that outside row will need to make sure they are right on their game, because there is every chance that Dodman and McLeod will go together and go early.
Yep, 2 teammates there being able to communicate through their race channel, and as the pace car pulls off now and ready for the green flag, and he's gone early.
Right on cue. Martin's been able to take advantage though. He's going to slip in ahead of McLeod. Keeping our eye on the back of the field, because I think we're going to be 3 wide. We're 4 wide back in the field. But we've made it through safely, which is great to see.
Yeah, mid-pack, there's some good little battles now. They're going 2 wide and starting to bunch up a little bit. Back in Blake Coppo in position 10 at the moment. There's almost 3 wide there, back through 3.
Oh, Colette, who's in the number 12 truck, a little bit of a bounce and wobble coming through 4, and I thought he was going to unload and shoot up into Coppo, but he managed to hold it and get the power down as well. Great side-by-side battle.
3 wide now back as well, position 25, car number 34, Nathan Clark, 3 wide into 3, and there's a bit of smoke. Someone's had a bit of a moment further up.
Managed to stay green. We're still 3 wide though, down the back straight. It's on now for P5 and 6, Cody Bird the number 18 and Sean Thompson in the 85. And that Tundra on the inside row looks like he's got a bit better run. Oh. That was a bit wild there from Thompson. I thought he was going to actually clean up the back of Bird, and Bird now on the outside, and Thompson. Oh. That's close. Bird just lifts the throttle a little. He's got to watch out for Hammond coming up behind on that inside row, and Hammond now looks to take advantage.
And he's got the inside run now coming down the back straight. They'll have a good line coming into 3 and 4. And they're getting mighty close there.
Oh. Good driving, boys.
Oh, how they don't touch there after that last net code. You'd be a bit nervous.
Bird with a really good run though. Purnell looking to get involved now as well, as is Liam Burns. And while they're all battling on, Sean Thompson's been able to pull a little bit of a gap. Now Bird back to the inside.
I just don't think he can do it there. He needs a bit of a draft partner, I think, around here. You can see when he pulls out, he just loses a bit of speed when he tries to get that inside move done, and then all of a sudden he's getting overtaken again on the outside.
Front four have managed to pull away. We've got Dodman in the 11, we've got Martin in the 21, McLeod in the 40, and Rob Lee in the 76, who have managed to pull 2 seconds from the rest of the field. And here comes Martin having a look up the inside into 3. Decides against it. After that last caution, we've got the caution clock in operation. If we run 20 minutes of green flag running but not into the last 10 laps of the race, we will have a caution. Be rather close to make it to that last 10 laps, so we might nearly go green all the way to the end if we don't have a automated caution. So you can see Cody Bird actually has lost a lot of positions. He had a really bad run through 1 and 2, had to lift off the throttle, and he has dropped about 4 spots.
Yeah, it shows how easily and how tight the mid-pack is, especially, you know, small little mistake and you can just get swamped, especially with the restrictor plate racing where it's critical to have good flow through the corners as well.
Right on board for a lap with Cody Bird as we watch him try and hold off Brett Hender and chase down Blake Coppo. Oh, there's big danger of paying attention to a truck right in front of you. You can actually follow the truck ahead into the wall. We saw Brett Hender scrape the wall and Cody Bird hit it quite aggressively then.
Yeah, and you can see he was fighting it a fair bit, started to get a bit loose mid-corner. And yeah, as you say, he just followed that truck up in front. Very easy to get tunnel vision and just be watching the tailgate of the truck in front. And, yeah, as we saw, both trucks hitting the wall in different stages.
Matthew Collette in the 12, fending off Blake Coppo, who's starting to look like he's picked up a bit of a groove in this race. And Here he comes up the inside. That's move done. So Coppo now moves up to 8th position. He should be able to fend off Colette at the exit, and does. Back at the front, Dodman's doing a really, really good job holding off Jason Martin, who has been very, very aggressive on his tail.
Yeah, these front four are, as you said before, have made a nice little pack now, and even now we're starting to see the front two just to get a couple of car lengths ahead. And but yeah, Hayden is doing a great job there, just staying consistent. But Martin's not going to give up and not going to give him that position easily.
Back though, just behind 5th, 6th, 7th, has started to heat up very, very quickly. Sean Thompson's now right on the tail of Michael Hammond, Liam Burns. So Hammond's got a great run out of 1 and 2, and Burns now is going to have to hold off the 85 of Thompson. Can hold off on the outside of 4. Not quite as easy through 1 and 2 though.
No, you're right there. We saw that Thompson was good out of 4 just across the start finish, but then again the high line started to speed up, but now he's cleared him.
Oh.
He's going to come across.
Over and under there from Liam. Will he do it? No, and Coppo's right in this now. They're bump drafting. I do realise that this isn't Talladega or Daytona. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Oh. Well done from Liam to get out of that. And if Liam can tuck back down to the inside, follow Blake through here. He's fighting that truck though. He's really struggling through 3 and 4.
Very much. Now he's going to bump draft down the bottom there, swap a bit. He's sick of the black paint. Now he wants a bit of white paint on his front bar. Oh, and he's forced him wide now. He's going to go inside.
This is good to watch. We've actually got a couple 2 wide action just behind as well. Look at this pack of cars. This is 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. We've got Hender, Mason, Purnell, as Purnell gets ahead of Mason and Mason heads wide again. Then we've got Bird, Crawford, McKenzie and Stratford. McKenzie. Oh, it's contact.
It's a nudge.
Mason into the wall. And are we going to stay green? Yes, we are. Mason manages to regather that. Let's see if we can grab a replay of that. But there's a little bit of contact there between McKenzie, Crawford and Mason. Just go back a little bit further. There we go. So you can see Mason in the red truck, Burns in the black and purple. A little bit of contact with the 19 and into the wall, and then just manages not to hit any other trucks as he's coming back through. He's managed to keep it together. He's still in 25th, and his pace we'll have to keep an eye on now. It's about a second off the pace, so might be a little bit of damage to that truck, but we go to 3rd and 4th. There's been a change of position. Mitchell McLeod has dropped back behind Rob Lee.
Yeah, might have had a bit of a scrape out of a wall or something, not sure. I don't think he's shown any sign of damage as such, but yeah, something's happened there, because that 3rd and 4th have really dropped off these front two as up in front. Martin has a look at the inside Donovan.
Oh. This is one of those tracks where you can take to that apron on the front straight, but it actually doesn't gain you any advantage. Other tracks in a similar style with the cookies cutter 1.5 mile ovals or 2 mile ovals, you can head to that apron, tracks like Michigan and Chicagoland, and actually make an advantage from it. But here it doesn't help you because it actually will unsettle the truck as you come back onto the track proper.
Yeah, that's right. Just the angle of the banking really unsettles the car, and definitely these two now are checked out. Dodman coming across the line now. Just having a little time. He does a 42.3 and Martin's at a 42.337 to a 3.35, so only marginally quicker. That's why these two are checked out, whereas we go behind 42.5 for Lee, and McLeod has really dropped off with a 43.4. Bit further back, Blake Copper in 5th has now pulled away from that battle pack of Michael Hammond, Liam Burns and Clowette, and now that little trio is having a bit of a battle going into 3 and 4 as well.
We've got about 9 minutes left until we'll see the comp caution, so we might see that before 10 to go. That'll make things really, really interesting for the last phase of the race.
I dare say you're going to see everyone dive in. You'll be putting 4 fresh tyres on.
Yep.
Make sure your fuel's good, and go out and just attack the crap out of the next 10 laps.
It's Simon Smith and Darren McKenzie on screen with Nick Crawford-Smith. Has actually showed some good pace in the last few laps. One of the fastest trucks on the track in the 48. Oh, right on cue. That was all sorts of crossed up from Crawford, and he's now defending on the inside. And McKenzie on that outside run.
They're bump drafting into 3, not such a good idea there, and that's allowed the 0.8 around the outside.
Oh, 3 wide there for a second with David Webb getting involved too. See another change of position as well up the field. Brett Hender has just got past Sean Thompson out of turn 4. But Mitch McLeod's losing a lot of time. He's just let Blake Coppo past, and Coppo now moves up to P4. So my guess is McLeod's burnt out his tyres.
Yeah, he's not showing any damage on the car from what I can see, Jay. So yeah, as you say, he might have just
pushing it too hard to keep up with Dodman and Martin on that last restart. Now he's really struggling with the tyres. That lap there, a 43.7 versus the leaders doing 42.6s.
Yeah, and even this little battle group before that I mentioned behind him, 42.9. So yeah, it's just something's definitely upsetting that car.
7 minutes away from the comp caution, so I'm fairly sure we will see it. We'll have one more caution in this race at some point.
Now the leaders now, Hayden Dodman out to a little bit of a lead now
over
Jason Mutt.
8 tenths. It's the biggest gap we've seen all race, but Rob Lee is a very, very seasoned campaigner. He knows how to race these trucks. He actually was sneakily doing a couple of truck races before the session for this Open. I went in to test out some stuff with the overlays, and there he was in the race, battling it out in the top 3, so he knows what he's doing. Very, very, very good hard racer in the truck. But McLeod is back to 7th. I actually could almost hear him in team radio, not being there with him now, but I could hear what he'd be saying. He'd be saying, "Jay, throw that caution." Actually, probably be a lot more swearing involved than that, but
I'm surprised he's not trying to alt tab out while he's on the street and sending you PMs, poking you through TeamSpeak.
I'm surprised I haven't got a Facebook message or anything from him yet. But yeah, he's really
with
struggling.
no gear changes on this track, you could nearly text and drive. Not that we recommend that.
Ashley moving back through the field after being involved in that some sort of weird incident earlier on in the race. Now, I've missed something there. Darren McKenzie's dropped back to 30th. He was battling in that top 10 battle we saw, at the end of the top 10 battle we saw earlier. And Jason Martin in the lane. So these guys are coming in for fuel. Well, this makes things very interesting.
Oh.
Now, maybe that's what McLeod's doing. He's saving fuel, waiting for that caution, but he's not going to get it. He's going to have to pit for fuel beforehand.
I'll tell you what, the 85's in the pits, and he may get a pit lane speed penalty. He was all sorts of sideways into the pit entry there and locked up.
So this is something that we didn't really think we'd see, but that's awesome to see. This has really thrown another curveball in this race. We've got 20 laps to go as Dodman crosses the line. We'll likely see a comp caution with about 4.5 minutes left to go on the clock. Jason Martin only just ahead of Dodman, so he's going to go a lap down. So, you really have to be sure you want to do a green flag stop.
And we got the 12 car of Matthew Collette actually had a spin coming onto pit lane then and stopped short of the yellow cones, so that was a bit weird. He come off the apron and got it absolutely crossed up. Last minute decision by the pit crew to call him in, and yeah, lucky he somehow kept it off the wall.
Yeah, replay that on screen at the moment. On the outside, and then he's just dropped it down to the inside. They're going way too quick to make it in. And the car's just unsettled going onto the apron. And if there was another car actually coming into the pits behind him, we probably would have seen a caution, but not to be. Now I can 100% guarantee that those guys will be out there yelling out for the caution, as we've got a caution.
Yep, and I tell you who's going to be the big winner out of this, Jay. This is Mitchell McLeod. He's just exited pit lane in that car 40, and must have come in for his fuel and tyres, and he has just exited as that caution was thrown. So he is going to be back up the pointy end once this field cleanses itself.
Not quite sure what's caused that caution there. Really not sure what's caused it, so that's a bit bizarre.
Yeah, Liam Burns is saying something in the chat, so I might just go have a look at him and see if something's happened there. Although he's not showing any damage, he's still going around.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, here we go. Found it, Jay. Liam Burns and Michael Hammond had it coming together. Michael was down the inside in the 777 car, coming out of 4 onto the main straight, and looks like might have had a bit of a netcode issue again. Coming into turn 1. Oh no, he's just come up, looks like he's had a failure of some sort, and that 777 has gone just straight on into 1 and straight into the 14 car there of Liam Burns, unfortunately, but they both kept straight, but the caution had come out.
So you've got replay on screen of Hammond coming out of the pit lane. He's rejoined. Well, it doesn't look to be anything that would have caused a caution. I'm not sure what's happened.
Yeah, lap 42, Jay, if you can find that one.
I can't see that, unfortunately, but we'll see.
No?
I'll watch it another lap and see what happens.
Yeah, so it's the lap after he comes out of the pits.
Oh, beautiful. We'll stay with him then. We've got action aplenty in the pit lane. Go to that in just a second. We'll get a replay of what's actually caused the caution. Oh, yep. There it is. So Hammond's just gone up a little bit too high on the entry into 1, and thankfully they both kept going.
Yeah, it's unusual for that 77 though to go straight on. He might have just had a quick glitch in his steering wheel or something, because it's a very unusual line to take into there, just trying to get it right up into the high line there.
There are a gaggle of cars in behind the pace car. Now McLeod has dropped back. I'm not sure why. Oh, they may have come past the pace car and come in to the pits again. I'm not quite sure. They are at the back of the field on the lead lap though. But Dodman is our race leader. In official timing, that is. He has got a large number of cars ahead of him.
Well, I have some breaking news, Jay. Coming from the team radios, that Mitchell McLeod had pitted before that caution, as I said before, but as he's come out, the pace cars beat him out of the pit lane from the caution. He's stuck in the middle field, and now he needs a toilet break, and he'll be pitting again.
Right.
There you go.
Doesn't sound like Mitchell at all. So Sean Thompson, Matthew Collette, Chris Purnell actually. Sorry, Chris Purnell is the car that will wave by the pace car as the lights go out and Hayden Donovan will take the proper position of P1. So we'll see, what's that, about 7 cars come past the pace car and tag onto the back of the field. This is going to be an interesting finish here, though. It's made it really, really tough on Martin, who is back in P22. We'll have about 14 to go when we go green.
Sounds like a few teams also, Jay, or drivers having issues with stopping in their pit boxes. A few people have sounded like they've overshot, according to the driver chat as well.
Big winner out of everything. Matt Stratford, who started back in the mid-30s, is currently in P5. So he's got a bit of an advantage. He pitted at every caution that we've seen. So he got that advantage from pitting on that first caution, pitting in the second caution. He probably took fuel. He's managed now to find himself in 5th. That's an amazing drive.
Yeah, that's it, Jay. And it shows that if you just stick with it, you're never out of the race, as you said before. Yeah, he hasn't been a lap down, obviously, but yeah, strategy, and you get the right strategy, you get a bit of luck with the cautions and fall in your favour, and yeah, you can make up so many positions in these ovals, which is also such a great thing, and a reason why they're so popular is you're never really out of a race, unlike a road race, you know, back of the pack, very hard to fight back. But Mitchell McLeod now back on track also, and he's had a massive connection issue at the moment and is disappearing off my screen.
That sounds very normal for Mitch, so Mitch and Sam both will be having issues running off the same connection.
The lights are out, pace car, and looks like we're ready to go green. Led off by Hayden Dobbin, has the honours.
14 to go once they cross the start-finish line. Will we go green till the end? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and this will be where that racing, good racing will come into play, I reckon, Jay. I reckon you'll call it. 14 laps, this will be win it or bin it, I reckon.
We are green. And Stratford, what a run from him. He has pulled 3 spots up through the middle. He's managed to jump ahead of Rob Lee, Liam Burns, and Blake Coppo. What a start from Stratford.
That was an amazing move. Just thread the needle there, and obviously confident on the new tyres, and just blasted through them.
We'll keep our eye on McLeod and Martin coming back through the field. McLeod in 16th, Martin in 18th. What a restart there from Stratford, straight up the middle. He's into second. Started in about 3rd last, I'm pretty sure. This is a great drive. Ashley, who we saw having issues at the start of the race, he's made his way back up to 9th. Brett Hender, who we saw have issues as well. So we see a car slow on the outside. Liam Burns hit the wall at the exit of turn 2. And he's really slow. A lot of damage on the right hand side of that truck.
Yeah, that's right. And with the field just punched up after the caution, that is going to cost him a hell of a lot of positions. And looks like he's just starting to get back up to speed now, but even so, he's got 3 cars coming out off the inside.
And 2 cars on the outside chasing him down are McLeod and Martin as we go 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, and even Simon Black's in the mix there as well. Good to see him out on track as well. Mitchell in the 15 car as well into the second row of that battle. Oh, is he going?
Mitchell, McLeod ducking and weaving. He's made it 3 wide and it's going to work. Oh, he gets checked up big time by the 8 truck of Braden Bateman.
Yeah, and that's going to allow the 14 around the outside there to get a good run
on
on
the
these
19
guys
up the inside. We're going to be 3 wide across the start-finish line.
Oh, they're
awesome
3
racing.
wide by 3 wide.
Oh, this is great to watch. Looks like they've settled down a little. Caution's out though. Got an incident at the entry to turn 1. Sam McLeod and River Whisper involved in it. Get a replay if we can. There we go, the incident on screen at the moment. McLeod in the 13 talking truck and Whisper in the 888. And Whisper just got squeezed down a little bit, didn't realise McLeod was on the inside, and both with nowhere to go, lucky not to take anyone else out. It's one of those unfortunate incidents where 3 into 2 doesn't quite go.
Yeah, and they've both hit the inside wall hard there too.
Yeah.
That'll be quite a bit of damage to both cars. And yeah, as you say, he just got squeezed, and obviously the spotter not quick enough to tell him he still had a car on the inside there as they made contact.
Even if the spotter did, I don't know if he would have had time to react to it anyway. That's very, very unlucky. But,
yeah, definitely. And as you say, lucky not to take out the rest of the field, because there was a big pack of angry cars just behind them, and they went straight into the inside.
Richard McLeod now moves up to 13th after that restart started in 21st, and Jason Martin in 17th. We will see about 7 laps of green flag racing to get us home. But Hayden Dodman has done a fantastic job in this race. Now we're going to see a few guys in the pits. We see Mitch McLeod. No, he didn't come in. I thought he was coming in there. Yes, he is in. Sorry. McLeod is in. Liam Burns is in. Chris Purnell is in. Mackenzie, Collette, Thompson, Hammond, McLeod, Whisper and Ethan all into the lane. Of course, McLeod of the Sam variety involved in that incident with River Whisper. Now McLeod, I'm going to guess he's taking 4 tyres.
Yeah, and interesting to see a lot of these cars as the 12 misses his pit box again. That's going to cost him a few spots. That they're more the mid to lower pack cars that are coming in to get all these servicing done. So maybe they're thinking with the extra tyres on board for 7 laps, they might have that extra pace just to try and push through this field.
Dodman will get the honours of controlling the field at the restart. Matt Stratford, who got that great restart before, he'll start from second. Rob Lee, Blake Coppo on the second row. Rob will want to be right on Dodman's tail to make sure that Stratford cannot get through turn 1. I think we'll have about 7 to go by the looks of it. When we restart, we might have, yeah, we'll have 7, maybe 6 to go. Yeah, there'll be 6 to go when we restart. That will be a chaotic finish to this race.
Oh, you're not wrong. And I reckon any one of these top I reckon 10 drivers, I would say, could win this. But my money might be on Stratford here. If he can get a start like he did in the last restart, try and pull away a bit while everyone else is battling, he might have a good chance.
Big thing is you want to make sure you're in front just in case that caution comes out. Because if it does, we don't have green-white checker, unfortunately, so you could end up winning your race just from being there in the right spot when that caution flies again, because there's every chance with how aggressive this field is, which is great to see, every chance that we'll see another caution. But thumbs up to all the drivers in this race. They have done a fantastic job. That green flag run we had through the field where we actually had guys stopping for fuel, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm sure the drivers will be enjoying that as well, Jay. Stop-start racing, yeah, it can get frustrating sometimes when you just start to get a rhythm going and then there's a caution, another one. And they say cautions breed cautions, as we hear many times, but hopefully that's not the case here and we get a nice 5 or 6 lap sprint to the end here.
got 29 cars left in the race, all on the lead lap, so no lucky dog this time around. If you haven't joined us on our social media platforms, please do facebook.com/V8online or at V8online on Twitter. We are going to be posting a bit more extra content on there in the coming weeks. Also, we did our first short shift podcast a couple of weeks ago. We'll do that again next week after the truck series. Myself and Stephen Sandman Clark have a bit of a chat about all things sim racing and real life motorsport. With the release of Dirt next week, we will have a lot to talk about. You excited for Dirt, Luke?
Definitely, mate. I don't think I've run a dirt oval since there was an old sprint car game, and I think it was on even a Sega Master System or something like that. They had an old dirt racing game, and that's the last time I've raced dirt, so or a dirt oval anyway. So yeah, very excited to have a go, and good news with any car's going to be available to drive on dirt. So I can't wait to see some of the silly combinations that people come up with in some poster sessions that we can go have a bash at.
Don't worry, we will be surely putting up a few McLaren Formula 1 races on dirt ovals. You can 100% guarantee that. I'm actually more excited for the release of the Rallycross events. I think that will be the most exciting thing. I'm not a massive dirt oval fan, but I'm looking forward to the Rallycross aspect of it all. I think that'll be fantastic when it comes out. But we find out more all about it next week. So short shift podcast live next week. After the truck races next Thursday night.
Yeah, can't wait to hear that one. And the field now bunching up again. Looks like the safety car lights are out and it pulls in, and here we go.
Good jump from Dodman, and Stratford has got that advantage ahead of Rob Lee. But look at Coppo, who's got a great start, and he might actually jump. Oh, we're going to crash back in the field. 58 car Johnson, and who's that? That's Sean Thompson. And we are still green. Oh, we've got a car off on the inside as well. I think that's Simon Smith. But we're still green. That's good to see.
Yeah, that was a 48, definitely Simon Smith. Oh, there's two cars just in front there, might have a bit of contact. No, they managed to avoid each other.
Oh. Now McLeod's coming into the pits. I think McLeod, has he got a penalty? More than likely if he's coming down the pit lane at this time of the race.
Yeah, unfortunately that's going to be race ending for McLeod there.
5 to go. Dodman with a 3/10 of a second advantage over Stratford. Then it's Coppo with Rob Lee. Oh. Lee up the inside.
With a new shade of black on the back of that white car.
This will be move done for Rob Lee.
Well, he doesn't have a good run out of there though, and Coppo coming straight back at him around the outside, into one.
With the new tyre advantage, he might be able to over under here, not quite close enough, but right behind them, Brett Hender, Cody Bird up the inside. And Hender right on Coppo's tail. We've got Williams around the outside of Foster with Jason Martin now into the top 10, and he's made it 3 wide down the back straight. Move done.
Yeah, everything getting hot and racy in these last couple of laps, Jay. The front three have checked out a little bit. So, Stratford and that's going to have to work really hard to try and get a move done in these last couple.
Hender, Bird, Webb. It's going to be one to watch with 3 to go now. So Hender in 5th, 6th is... See cars in the wall. We've got the caution out. That is race ending. We've got Michael Hammond, Braden Bateman around in between turns 1 and 2. A replay up on screen of what has actually happened, but that's unfortunately going to be the end of the race. And what a race it has been. Hammond in the 777.
Yeah, unfortunately it looks like they're Jody. Yeah, the 8 getting into him.
was just a bit unlucky. The 8 trying to close the corner up a little bit narrower, and 777, unfortunate bystander in that. But wow, what a race we've had. This has been ultra action-packed, exciting race, and I've loved every minute of it. But Hayden Dodman will pick up the win from Matt Stratford. Rob Lee will finish in 3rd position. Jason Martin, what a drive back through the field. They come back from mid-20s after the 4th restart of the race, and he's now managed to find himself up into 9th.
Yeah, excellent drive, that's for sure.
And Matt Stratford, driver of the night, started in the mid-30s. Not exactly sure, I think 33rd from memory. Found himself in P2. That's a fantastic drive.
Yeah, definitely driver of the night for sure. And unlucky not to get the win there, but just too good on that last restart by Dodman to hold him out.
Wayne Taylor, another one that's done a really, really good job through the field. Started in the pit lane, fairly sure. Almost went a lap down at the start with the way the caution commander luckily didn't go a lap down. He's made his way back to 11th, which is really, really good effort. Ash Lear, after that issue early on in the race, has managed to get back into P12. And shout out to Scott Griffiths as well, who started back in P32, has managed to find himself in 15th. A little bit of an anticlimactic end to the race, but again, a fantastic race, and I've loved every single minute of it. It's been really, really good.
This last week's broadcast. So yeah, been good to see the trucks back out on track and be able to call them alongside yourself.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, mate. I appreciate jumping in. Fortunately, Jonathan's had a computer meltdown and Isaac's away, but tell you what, you're welcome back in here anytime you want, mate.
No worries, mate. I was even thinking of getting out there myself next week and have a bit of a fun, but yeah, we'll see how we go. I do enjoy jumping up in the commentary box and watching these guys go around, be able to call a good race. And but yeah, as you say, a bit anticlimactic with a bit of a caution to finish her off, but some great exciting races for all the viewers at home, for especially that mid race as you mentioned before. And yeah, not as many cautions as last time, which is always a good thing, but you get that on the shorter tracks, you get a bit more chaos.
So before we run through our results, next week we do head off to, I've had a mental blank on where we're off to. I think it's Martinsville. Yeah, it is Martinsville. So the shortest track on the schedule, 93 laps, which will be really, really entertaining. About a 17, 18, 19 second lap. So we'll see guys almost getting dizzy. We'll see guys getting lapped after about lap 5 or 6. And we will see action aplenty on the shortest track and slowest track speed-wise we will see for the entire schedule, as Dodman gets himself in a position for the burnout. Almost gets cleaned up by his teammate and by Jason Martin. But we'll run through the results. Dodman with the win from Matt Stratford, Rob Lee, Blake Coppo, Brett Hender, Cody Bird, David Webb, Stephen Williams, Jason Martin, who led that first portion of the race, but a good pit stop from Dodman managed to get him ahead. Nicholas Crawford, then over the page, Wayne Taylor, Ashley, Chris Purnell, Darren McKenzie, Scott Griffiths, Simon Black, Simon Smith, Matthew Collette, Sam McLeod, Brad Matheson, Nathan Clark, Liam Burns, River Whisper, Michael Hammond, Braden Bateman, Andrew Johnson, Mitchell McLeod, Edward Foster, Sean Thompson, Robert Mason, Mark Eastham, Craig Jones, Scott Butler, Rodney Morris, and Brock Cadee. Thanks again for coming along, Luke. I appreciated all your help and insight.
No problem, mate. As I said, good to be here and good to sit next to such a qualified commentator as yourself to call some great truck action once again for a Thursday night.
No, I'm a has-been, mate. I'm no good at this stuff. Next broadcast we will have from V8s Online will be our Carrera Cup Australia broadcast Sunday night. We'll also have Monday night V8 Supercars. And next week, as we said, we will have the truck action once again from Martinsville, as well as the V8 Supercar Online Premier Series. Jeez, it's come around quick. Sunday after next. I'm not ready for that yet. But thanks for watching. Your winner of round 2 of the Nascar V8s Online Truck Series is Hayden Dodman.